Hello, Jamie.
Hello, hello.
Hey, good evening.
Yeah,
Good
I just sent you
evening.
a mail that we all want to reschedule his class.
Oh
It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah. No worries. That's totally fine with me. Yeah. So when would you like to reschedule his class?
I think we need to finish it in this month. So
Mm.
I will check with it we are that
Mhm.
um, maybe next week.
Mhm.
Um, which time slot is good for him? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You can just let me know. Just leave me a message if you have, let's say, confirmed what time he would like
Okay.
to take the class, and you could go to the reservation sheet to check which slots are still available.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
Okay. Right. So, how was your day then? How did it go?
Yeah, I think so far so good.
Mhm.
When I finish I remember I need to finish the proposal, and
Mhm.
when I finish yeah, like today and yesterday, yeah, perfect.
Mhm.
Nothing, nothing.
Mhm.
Just
Okay.
I can take a rest.
Mhm. Okay. I see. All right. Well, it's Thursday, so of course tomorrow's going to be your last day of work. So, can you say that you are not, let's say, falling behind with your tasks for this week? Like you are on schedule, let's say.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. Yeah, I just finished the proposal, and
Mhm.
when I finished the proposal and on that day, the U.S. sales called me directly, and
Mhm.
she just thank you. I mean send me it because I just in one day I finished the proposal
Mhm.
because they are thinking, oh, they don't have enough time, and maybe we cannot send our proposal to the customer. Yeah,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
it's just yeah, it's just thanks that I finished in very very short time. Yeah,
Mhm. Okay. You mean you finished it? You finished it in a very short time because it was easy for you, or like you had to finish it in a very short time, like you were in a very tight schedule to finish the proposal.
I think because originally I already have an idea,
Okay.
I think the proposal or the project originally not belong to me, and
Mhm.
yeah, our US engineer need to finish it, but
Mhm.
she is something something, and she cannot do it.
Mhm.
So my boss asked me, can I help? I say no problem. Give me one day, I can finish it. Yeah,
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. So you mean you've finished making the proposal in just one day?
yeah, yes.
Great, great. Well, I suppose that's part of your expertise. Uh, so you don't find it particularly challenging to make a proposal in your line of business.
Yeah, and
Mm.
one of my team member asked me, yeah, it's just I mean, do I need help? Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's okay for me, and I'm very
Mhm.
familiar with the customer, and I know what he need, what they
Mm.
need.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, right. That is the advantage of having a wide-ranging, knowledge or know-how around your work. So, yeah. Well, you've been working for this company for quite some time already. So I suppose you have already gathered a lot of information, a lot of knowledge about the company and about its clients and business partners.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
Because
Mm.
yeah, currently I lead a team, and
Mm.
we have a project for many customer, and I
Mm.
know the customer the requirement. I
Mm.
mean, like Apple need this, and maybe the Uber need this. So
Mm.
the proposal is for Uber, and I know what
Ah, Uber.
yeah,
Mm. Mm.
and what they need. So
Mm-hmm.
I just read the document and
Mm-hmm.
I know what they need, and so I very short time, and I communicated with the our how to say double E, well,
Mm-hmm.
electrical team, yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
I yeah communicate with them, and I just say that I can provide the concept to them, and
Mm-hmm.
then start the job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Great, great. So have you already gotten any response from them about the proposal? Like,
Oh,
have they already given you any response about the proposal you made? Were they satisfied with it? Or what did
uh,
they think about it?
I think actually not yet to get the response, but for our internal,
Mm.
yeah, our US, especially US society, satisfied with
Mm.
the proposal. Yeah,
Okay,
and
okay, great.
and I think yeah, it's what the customer need. Yeah, so
Mm.
I think they should satisfy it because I read their requirement. They always provide the we call it how to say RFQ request for quotation
Yeah,
or
right, RFQ, I know,
yeah,
yeah.
and they have the list they
Mm.
list the requirement, and I read
Mm.
it. Oh, I got the what they need. Yeah.
Mm. Great, great. Wow, so you must be an expert now in this line of business, or in this industry.
Yeah, yeah. It's because I already work for this industry for over 10 years.
Over 10 years, yeah,
Oh,
you've been in this industry for over 10 years, so you are already quite familiar with, a
yeah,
lot of things.
yeah.
Great,
Yes.
great. All right, and how's your family doing? Of course, you have this new outbreak of COVID-19, and you are trying your very best to protect, particularly your son, who is about to take the high school admission exam.
Yeah.
So how is everybody doing in your family?
Yeah, I think um, actually in Taiwan every day we have a lot of cases. Yeah, we call it the
Mm.
outbreak. But I just read the news that most of the people are the symptoms is very light.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not worried about it. But just in case, because my son have will have the exam
Mm-hmm.
this weekend, so I need to pay more attention to this,
Mm-hmm.
and so this is why I asked my wife to also work from home, and my daughter um not go to school and have
Mm-hmm.
a art class.
Right, right. Mm-hmm.
So, but I think that next week, yeah, we can start to go to the office,
Mm-hmm.
and but our I mean my daughter, the the school or the government announced that they needed to stay at home for 1 week and wait and
Mm.
see, and depends on the COVID,
Situation, yeah, the
yeah,
COVID-19
situation.
situation.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just
Mm-hmm.
1 more.
One more
They
week.
they
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they think next week, end of May,
Mm-hmm.
should be our how to say the the curve. Well, we have the curve and
When the curve flattens.
yeah. They said end of May is the peak. Is a
Ah,
peak.
okay. So according to some experts, they are expecting the cases, the number of cases to peak by the end of this month, and then after that, then it should go down and
Yeah.
flatten.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. This is
Okay.
the target, and we yeah. First, we need to have a flatten and then go
Okay.
down. Yeah.
All right. So that's the trajectory of the COVID-19 cases. Right. So how does your daughter find this online class setup? Because I know of some young kids who struggle with it. I've seen some videos on social media of kids crying because they have a lot of homework. Well, everything is homework because they are doing their studies at home. So everything is homework, and they don't have social interaction, and kids like to be with other kids, or they like to hang out with their friends or classmates. So I have seen some video clips of kids, like elementary school kids and even high schoolers, who throw tantrums just because they are already somewhat overwhelmed by the schoolwork that they need to do at home, without the chance to go out and play with their classmates, or have, let's say, social interaction or mingling with their classmates. So how does your daughter find this online class setup?
For my daughter, I think my daughter like online class.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Okay, well, good for her.
Yeah, he like the class Sarah. So
Oh, great.
yeah, but originally this week his plan her plan is go to school, but but when we said, oh, you need to stay for one more week, and she feel a little upset, but just maybe a very short time, and she's comfortable with it. So he continued to have online class. Yeah. I think for the homework, I didn't see she do a lot of homework. So
yeah. Does she still need any assistance from you or your wife, or from her older brother?
No, she just open the computer, and she know how to connect, how to have the class online. Yeah,
it's great. So she is already independent, sort of, in having her online classes.
She know how to mute and how to turn on and turn off the video. Camera.
Right. Yeah, I mean, for younger generation these days, they find it so easy to learn how to work around gadgets, how to control, how to work around any technology.
Yeah. But it's a lesson for me, because I give Will a computer, and I think he spent too much time on the computer. So for my daughter, I just told her not to spend too much time on the computer. Yeah. And when she finished the class, I said, "Oh, you should turn off the computer, not to use it always." Yeah.
Right. Well, of course, as children, they still need parental guidance. So, right, you have to teach them how to limit their screen time, because too much screen time would, of course, affect them psychologically and physically. Of course, it's going to affect particularly their eyesight, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right. Well, anyway, it's great to catch up with you, Jamie. So I suppose we should proceed now to the lesson material that we should be studying for tonight. So, this is the material you've chosen. The title is Japan to Welcome Back Tourists in Test Program.
Yep.
Okay, so let's get started from the vocabulary part. So, as usual, just repeat after me. The first one is impose.
Impose.
To introduce a rule or restriction.
To introduce a rule or restriction.
The new CEO has imposed a strict dress code for when staff return to the office?
The new CEO has imposed a strict dress code for when staff return to the office.
Itinerary.
Itinerary.
A plan of things to do while traveling.
A plan of things to do while traveling.
We should add the London Eye to our itinerary.
We should add the London Eye to our itinerary.
Xenophobic.
Xenophobic.
Showing dislike or fear of people from other countries.
Showing dislike or fear of people from other countries.
The president was accused of making xenophobic comments during his speech.
The president was accused of making xenophobic comments during his speech.
I wonder who's the president in the picture. Donald Trump. No wonder. It's Donald Trump. Right. Okay. All right. So the next one is wipeout.
Wipe out.
To destroy or get rid of something.
To destroy or get rid of something.
The pandemic almost completely wiped out New Zealand's tourism industry.
The pandemic almost completely wiped out New Zealand's tourism industry.
Inbound. Traveling towards a place.
Traveling toward a place.
All inbound travelers must have a negative PCR test to enter the country.
All inbound travelers must have a negative PCR test to enter the country.
Guideline. A rule, instruction, etc. about how something should be done.
A rule, instruction, etc. about how something should be done.
WHO guidelines say that adults should get at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise per week.
WHO guidelines say that adults should get at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise per week.
Okay. Alright, so that's for the vocabulary part. And do you have questions there, Jamie?
Oh, yeah. Inbound. I just want to clarify. Inbound is back to a place.
It's not back to a place, but it's coming in from the word inbound, right? Coming in. So, for example, if the speaker, let's say the one talking or the one writing about a situation, and this person is talking about people coming towards the place where that person is residing, then he would call it inbound. If the person is referring to people going out, going somewhere, then it would be outbound.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, so inbound. So in here, all inbound travelers must have a negative PCR test to enter the country. So that carries the meaning that the country being referred to here is the country where these travelers are going, right? The country that the travelers are going to, and so they are coming into this country, so inbound travelers.
Okay. So the inbound just emphasize the traveler one should go into the country. Right.
So that word is I think it's a contraction or a combination of the words in and bound. You know, when we say bound, then we say, I mean, that means going to a particular direction.
Yeah.
right? Going to a particular direction. So bound, we say bound for, let's say bound for Taiwan, you know, right. So in means, of course, in, coming in, you know, inbound, right?
Okay.
So it has the meaning that the direction is coming in, inbound,
Okay.
right?
But from this sentence, if we say like all traveler must have. Yeah, I mean we don't need this word. We all know. Yeah, it should be okay, right? All traveler must have a negative.
Well, because if we say all travelers,
Yeah.
it could also carry the meaning that travelers domestically.
Oh.
I mean, people traveling domestically. So if we say, for example, if we remove the word inbound and we say all travelers must have a negative piece out there yeah, right. So if we have the word enter, right, to enter the country. Right. So maybe we don't really need the word inbound because of the word to enter. I mean, to enter, right? Enter the country.
When you add the inbound, maybe we can remove it to enter the country. Yeah, inbound means entry.
Right, exactly. So inbound is like to enter, to come in, to come into a particular place or country. So, yeah, that could be, we say, redundant. You know, that could be redundant. So, all inbound travelers must have a PCR test. But I think it's okay if we use both of those words in the same sentence.
Yeah.
Right. Because if we say all inbound travelers must have a negative PCR test to what? Of course, to enter the country. Right.
Okay. But when we go outside, do we need a PCR test?
I suppose so. Outbound. Well, not exactly, but most countries require an inbound PCR. I mean, a negative test result of inbound travelers. So, for example, you are traveling to, let's say, the US. You are considered as an outbound passenger from Taiwan, but you are an inbound passenger in the US. So you would still need to get a negative PCR test before leaving Taiwan.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I'm sure recently, if they are opened and they don't need a PCR test, I'm not sure. Because I just, last week, we are discuss about the customer plan to visit Thailand. I mean, our surprise factory, and we are thinking if we should go with them because I'm not sure Thailand is opened or not, and maybe 7 day or 2 weeks. Quarantine stay at the hotel. But we check. Just need a test kit and I mean, it's not a PCR test. It's just when you go, when you enter the country, you just need a test kit and it show negative, negative, and you can go anywhere.
You can enter the country and travel around the country.
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, right. I heard that some countries, particularly Western countries, have already lifted all their COVID-19 restrictions. Even the wearing of masks. So, like in the UK and European countries, I think all across the Europe, all across Europe or the European countries, they have already lifted all their COVID-19 restrictions, and they no longer require people to wear masks.
Yeah, I think it's good. This is our target, so this is why our government start to open and we don't have restriction, a lot of restriction. Yeah, even we have a lot of cases every day. We still can go outside and just need to be more careful.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so right, that's for the vocabulary part. Do you have other questions in the vocabulary part?
Oh yeah. I think the first one in the second one should be impose. Impose
Mm-hmm.
is it seems like force someone or some here is a
Mm-hmm.
restriction. It means you make the rule, but the people don't like. But everyone need to
Mm-hmm.
follow it.
Mm-hmm. Right. So,
So,
so you are thinking that this word carries the meaning of to force other
yeah,
people?
yes,
Um, yeah, I suppose so. I think yeah, it's carries the meaning of forcing other people to obey it. So you
yeah,
are introducing a rule, a law, a policy, and then people have no choice but to follow the policy or this rule that you introduced. So yeah, it carries that that nuance. Right, so like forcing people to accept it, forcing people
yeah.
to follow it.
Like when I work for Japanese company, they
Mm-hmm.
they impose a strict dress code. We need uh
Mm-hmm.
formal shoes
I
and
know, yeah, Japanese companies like formal business attires. I don't know why. I think even until today they still have this very strict. Maybe some companies are becoming less strict, or they are becoming more lenient when it comes to their work uniforms. But I think most Japanese companies are still quite strict when it comes to work uniforms.
yeah,
Right. So yeah, that's the word impose. Yeah.
impose. Okay, okay.
Right.
And itinerary, I think, it is related to plan, right? Travel plan.
Right. Exactly. So itinerary, like when you are about to go on a trip, let's say for a holiday, you would plan what places to visit, and when are you gonna visit them, and perhaps some activities that you're gonna do there. So, for example, you are going for a 1 week holiday trip to the Philippines, here in the Philippines. Then you would say, day one, I'm gonna go visit Mac, and we will eat out, and I'm going to treat him out. Day two, I'm gonna, go to this place, go swimming, and so that's itinerary. It's a travel plan.
Okay, okay. But is this word popular? I mean,
Common.
yeah, common.
hmm I think it's common when it comes to traveling. Yeah, I always hear or read this word um, whenever there is like a topic about traveling, right?
Okay, but
Yeah.
can I use it for like business travel?
Yeah, yeah, sure. So
Oh,
any trip could be a holiday or vacation or a business trip. Yeah.
oh, okay, okay.
So.
Maybe next time I can use it because I
Mhm.
always use the travel plan or
Mhm.
my schedule.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Do something.
Right.
I
Right.
check another
Mhm.
word. Yeah.
I remember when I was in college, we used to have this school field trip.
Oh, field.
Yeah, we normally have it once a year, around I suppose around the month of December. And then before the field trip, about a week before the field trip, the school would distribute some printouts where you can find the sitting arrangement on the bus. So normally we use a fleet of bus, like about like 3 or 4 buses for the whole student body or for the whole school, and so like one class is for one bus, and you would have your sitting arrangement, and then you would also be given the itinerary. So not just the sitting arrangements, but also the itinerary. So like 8 a.m. we're gonna go to this factory, or this place, and at 10 we'll go to this, and so that's the itinerary.
Oh, very interesting. And
so even for let's say a trip, like a short trip, a day trip, you could also make an itinerary for it. So any travel plan, whether for a long travel or a short travel, any plan you make is an itinerary.
Okay, so itinerary you can use a long or short, like holiday or vacation. Yeah, you can.
Right. So whether it's, let's say, a month trip, a week trip, a day trip, and you are making a plan for it, then that is your itinerary.
Okay. Oh, I learned a new word. Yeah.
Right, and itinerary. Some people travel without making an itinerary. So, they just travel and do things randomly, spontaneously. We call it spontaneously. So, they do whatever they want to do. They go wherever they want to go without having any plan. So it's doing things spontaneously.
And I think it's no pressure. Yeah, when you join a big a trip with
a tour guide. Normally there would be an itinerary.
Oh yeah.
Right. So having no itinerary is good for a solo trip, or maybe a trip with your own family.
Yeah. But how to describe when you have a trip without the tour guide? How to say, by yourself?
By yourself, right? You can just say a trip. I don't know exactly if there is a particular term for that. You can just say a trip without a tour guide, a trip without travel agency, just by yourself. So I'm not sure if there is a word for that. So you can just describe it.
In Chinese, we have two kind of. One is with the tour guide, and another is by yourself. It's not two kind of but in English, how to describe it? Maybe later I can double check.
So what is the Chinese word for it?
You mean you can do it by yourself? It's free travel, like
free travel. Well, you can use the word free travel, or like independent travel, traveling independently. Or again, self. I think you can use the term self-guided self-guided tour, self-guided trip. So guided is the one with a tour guide. So guided. Let me type it. Guided trip is with the tour guide, and then self-guided. That means you are the guide of yourself. You don't need a tour guide, so you call it a self-guided trip.
And when you have a self-guided, you just need to book the hotel and the flight ticket. You can do everything by yourself.
Right. Okay, so that's the word itinerary, and I think we have already spent quite a lot of time with the vocabulary. So let's go down now to the article. All right, let's read it from the title. Japan to welcome back tourists in test program.
Japan to welcome back tourists in test program.
Japan's government announced on May 17th that it will begin allowing small group tours from 4 countries later this month, before gradually opening its doors to foreign tourism for the first time since it imposed strict border rules due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Japan's government announced on May 17th that it will begin allowing small group tours from 4 countries later this month before gradually opening its doors to foreign tourism for the first time since it imposed the strict border rules due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Transport Minister Tetsuo Saito said the tours will be allowed from Australia, Singapore, Thailand, and the United States as an experiment.
Transport Minister Tetsuo Saito said that the tours will be allowed from Australia, Singapore, Thailand, and the United States as an experiment.
Participants must have had 3 COVID vaccines, and the tours must have guides and fixed itineraries, the Japan Tourism Agency said. Each tour can have a maximum of 4 people, and 50 people are expected to join the experiment.
Participants must have had 3 COVID vaccines, and the tours must have guides and fixed itineraries. The Japan Tourism Agency said each tour can have a maximum of 4 people, and 50 people are expected to join the experiment.
The agency said that participants will enter Japan on a special visa, not a tourist visa. The results will be used to make coronavirus guidelines for tour companies, hotels, and other related businesses.
The agency said that participants will enter Japan on a special visa, not a tourist visa. The results will be used to make coronavirus guidelines for tour companies, hotels, and other related businesses.
Further details, including the length and destination of the tours, will have to be decided.
Further details, including the length and the destination of the tours, still have to be decided.
Japan's tourism industry is keen to see the return of foreign tourists. COVID-19 infections have slowed in Japan since earlier this year, and the government is gradually expanding social and economic activity.
Japan's tourism industry is keen to see the return of foreign tourists. COVID-19 infections have slowed in Japan since earlier this year, and the government is gradually expanding social and economic activity.
After facing criticism that its strict border controls were xenophobic, Japan began to relax restrictions earlier this year. Currently, it allows up to 10,000 people from abroad to enter per day, including Japanese nationals, international students, and some business travelers.
After facing
Criticism.
Okay. After facing criticism that its strict border controls were
Xenophobic.
Xenophobic, Japan began to relax restrictions earlier this year. Currently, it allows up to 10,000 people from abroad to enter per day, including Japanese nationals, international students, and some business travelers.
The government is said to be considering doubling the daily limit to 20,000 in the coming weeks. Currently, foreign tourists are not allowed to enter.
The government is said to be considering doubling the daily limit to 20,000 in the coming weeks. Currently, foreign tourists are not allowed to enter.
In a speech during a visit to London earlier this month, Prime Minister Fumio Kishida said he plans to relax the border controls as early as June, but gave no further details.
In a speech during a visit to London earlier this month, Prime Minister Fumio Kishida said he plans to relax the border controls as early as June, but gave no further details.
Foreign tourist arrivals fell more than 90% in 2020 from a record 31.9 million the year before, almost wiping out the pre-pandemic inbound tourism market for more than $31 billion.
Foreign tourist arrivals fell more than 90% in 2020 from a record 31.9 million the year before, almost wiping out the pre-pandemic inbound tourism market of more than $31 billion.
Alright, so that's the article. And do you have questions, Jamie? So there is a graph at the bottom that should give you a better visual understanding.
Yeah, you can see
how it
peak
dropped. Yeah,
drop.
right. It dropped abruptly. Right.
Almost zero.
Yeah. That's why the article said almost wiping out. So it plunged. Okay. So everything's clear in the article?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, let's go to discussion. So what are your thoughts on Japan's test program for foreign tourists?
I think Japan is very very famous for their tourism industry. I think so I think that it's very important that they must because we suffer from the pandemic over almost 3 years, and they think how to back to normal life to have so especially for Japan, their travel tourism industry is very, very important for them. So they have to open immediately. So this is why they want to have a test program and to make sure it's okay to open and not harmful for their economy, harmful but for their maybe the national health. So I think it's very, very important, and this is the same situation in Taiwan. Our government started to think we can always have very restriction for the border. We need to relax our border, but before this we need to make sure everyone got have a
vaccine, have been vaccinated.
And even though we don't have a vaccine, we need maybe a lot of people got a vaccine for because when we got a vaccine, we have the antibody.
Right. So is it required by a government that people who travel or inbound travelers should have a vaccination card? That document to prove that they have already been vaccinated.
So they test the three vaccines.
Three vaccines, right, including the so the first 2 doses and the booster. Right. Okay. Well, right. I mean, we should think of the economy as well, because if we only look at the health side of the situation, then we're going to suffer economically, and I think an economic downturn is also going to greatly affect not just the government's overall economy or the country's overall economy, but individual people. Right. So we have to strike a balance between keeping the restrictions or some restrictions to mitigate the spread of the virus, but at the same time allowing some flexibility so that businesses could still go on and the economy could still move and grow gradually.
Yes.
Right. The second one here. Have you traveled abroad since the pandemic started? And if so, where did you go? I suppose you did not, but you almost.
Almost, yes.
Yeah, I remember. You told me before that you were requested by your company to travel to the US.
Yeah, but yeah.
So you declined that one? You declined that request by your company?
Actually, our boss, they don't force us to go there to visit US our headquarters. It's because they think they can access to it's about half a year ago and the time we still have the Delta.
Right.
They still think it's dangerous, so we cancel the travel.
I see, the trip was cancelled.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this time, maybe we have chance to visit Thailand. Yeah. Maybe next month or next month. I think maybe the third quarter should be in fall or September. I have chance to visit Thailand. Because our other will be we have pylon there in Thailand, actually. Yeah, so we must. And I think the customer they will fly to Thailand and to check the quality, the process. So we must go there as well.
Right. Okay. So you did not travel. Do you think you're going to have a chance to travel internationally or travel abroad anytime soon? I mean, even with the pandemic, even before the pandemic could be declared as, over, or do you think you're going to travel during this pandemic period?
I think end of this year, every country, maybe just besides China and North Korea, they will still close, but every country start to open border, less their border. So at that time, we have a chance to travel to every country, especially maybe I need to travel to Thailand, need to travel to US. Yeah, end of this, I have a chance. Yeah.
Right. Maybe after Will's big exams, if he's going to pass it and get a good result, maybe that's a good, reward for him.
Normally,
go on a trip.
When he graduated from elementary school, he visited the Philippines and.
Right. So that was when he visited the Philippines. You could send him here in the Philippines, and I could be his tour guide.
Oh, great!
And English tutor as well at the same time.
Yeah. A travel guide, right?
Right, a guided tour. Okay. with Mac. All right, great. Well, so I'm afraid we've run out of time already. So that's it for tonight. Any questions before we go?
No.
Okay.
Later I will check the schedule, your schedule, and double check with Will. And update to you. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. You can just let me know. Just leave a message. and I'll respond to you as soon as I can.
Okay, thank you.
Right, thanks a lot, Jamie. Have a good night and rest well. I will see you next week.
Okay, see you.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so that was my class with Jamie. My private classes usually last for 50 minutes, right, with adults. So what did you think of it? And for ESL tutors, how do you sustain a 50-minute class? Of course, I'm using a material, and by the way, itong material na ginagamit namin is from Ingu, and in fact, Ingu Daily News is free to use for anybody on the internet. So if you want to have some materials to recommend to some of you, if you have private students, then you could recommend Ingu Daily News. So that is ENGOO, ingu.com/app/daily dash news. And you could access all the daily news articles of Ingu. Alright, so I'm not going to edit this video, it's just going to be like that. So you could also interact with me in the comment section. I'm going to be uploading this on YouTube as soon as I can, and I hope that I could get some interactions with you over there. Alright, so thanks a lot for joining me in this class. That was quite a class. I always enjoy having classes with my private students because they are very interactive, and because I meet them regularly, so I always have a clue on what to talk about when we are having some small talks and catching up with each other. Alright, so that's it. Thanks a lot, and I hope you can join me in my next class.